Do Paradoxical Outcome and High Tide belong in the same deck? I don't know, but that's what we're playing today. It's an ultra spicy donation deck. Let's go check it out. Let's begin by thanking Valgrim for today's donation deck. Valgrim, thank you, thank you, thank you. And they've been working on this rather spicy idea for a while. So at your core, you're a Paradoxical Outcome deck, which returns non-land, non-token permanents to your hand, and then you draw a card. And they've been wanting to combine this with High Tide, which makes all of your islands tap for an additional blue mana. Well, that's interesting because High Tide is traditionally not a deck that plays to the board. It's a spell-based combo deck. And Paradoxical Outcome is a combo deck that does play to the board. So you have two cards that are at odds here. There's a lot of friction between them. So how can you offset that friction? Well, Candelabra of Tawnos untaps your lands and is a permanent. So you can bounce Candelabra of Tawnos and then make mana that way. In Vintage with Paradoxical Outcome, we use the Moxen in order to make mana. Well, we don't have those in Legacy, so maybe Candelabra of Tawnos plus High Tide could do it. But you probably want more things than Candelabra of Tawnos. Or what if Candelabra of Tawnos was free because you're playing Helm of Awakening? Okay, well that's a start. And if you're playing Helm of Awakening, then Grim Monolith becomes a colorless dark ritual. Alright, now we're cooking. And then perhaps you can use Tezzeret Cruel Captain, which now costs 2 mana, to untap your Candelabra of Tawnos or your Grim Monolith and then make more mana. Alright, so, you can see where this is going. And the idea is that then you could use Grim Monolith in order to cast things like Lorien Revealed. Eventually, you'll end up making so much mana with this deck, you could target your opponent with Mathemagics or a really, really large Walking Ballista in order to win the game. That's the idea. How we do today, honestly, I'm not so sure. I think that this deck could have legs. I'd be pretty happy to make my entry fee back, but I could also see where it has shortcomings. And those shortcomings might be from not playing any consistency cards outside of Brainstorm. This deck might need something else. Yes, we have Spellseeker into Snap in order to make mana, but you might want something like Ponder or Flow State or more consistency cards in the deck. I think right now it's just a pile of broken cards where maybe we need a little bit more glue, but I'm not really sure yet until we start playing. So it's just a worry that I have that I thought I'd address before we hop on in. But that's what I've got for now. So Valgrim, thank you once again. I hope we do well in the league. Regardless if we do or not, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like, comment, and subscribe. All that great stuff. But for now, we're going to hop on into match number 1, and I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, cyborg guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1 with Paradoxical Outcome High Tide. We are on the play. Yeah, this seems fine to make keep. I don't know what it does, but it seems fine. So I guess if we're just gold fishing, turn 1 Undercity Sewers, turn 2 Island, Helm of Awakening. On the following turn, you play Island, High Tide, tap an Island, Grim Monolith, Spellseeker for Snap. Snap your Spellseeker, go get Mathemagics, and draw a bunch of cards. So this hand has a game plan. You kind of just have to hope that your opponent doesn't interact in Legacy, which probably isn't the best game plan, but that's what we're going for here. We'll play Undercity Sewers, get rid of the Grim Monolith. We don't really need another one of those. They have Wasteland, sure. My one wastable land in the deck, punished. We'll play Island and pass. Verdant Catacombs, okay. And step will Brainstorm, because I'm going to be using my mana moving forward. Double Helm of Awakening. Interesting. I don't think I need double Helm, so I'll keep the second Spellseeker instead. We'll fetch. And I actually wonder if I should just play the Grim Monolith, rather than making my opponent's Orcish Bowmaster cost 1 less on my end step. Let's play the Grim Monolith. And now we'll pass. They fetch with Verdant Catacombs. Alright, Undercity Sewers. So they are playing a blue deck. Gets rid of a Murktide Regent. And now they play Ponder. They play Polluted Delta. They fetch. Underground Sea, and a Thoughtseize. I was discussing this with some friends last night because they asked why I wasn't playing a Legacy League and instead I was playing Pauper. And I love Legacy. I play it all the time. I record it all the time. But I think a reality is the leagues right now are just so much Dimir control, Dimir tempo, whatever you would like to call it. And it's really boring. It's not even the fact that like my decks have bad matchups against them. Like the Epic Storm right now, at least my win rate is like roughly 50% against it. It's like 53%. And I just don't think it's fun to pair into this deck over and over again. So if I'm not having fun, I'm just going to do something else. We'll fetch with the Scalding Tarn. We'll play Helm of Awakening, play High Tide, and now the Spell Seeker, play Force of Will. Okay, we have to pass. I only have 3 mana, so I cannot untap the Grim Monolith. They play another Wasteland, 3 cards in their hand. Orcish Bowmasters. This deck also just cannot beat an Orcish Bowmasters. There's 1 snap in the deck, and that's it. We'll draw. We'll play our land. I'll untap Grim Monolith and just pass the turn. They swing for 3. Ouch. They play a Barrogoyf, 3 cards in their hand. Candelabra of Tawnos. So this is free. We'll make 3 mana. And then I guess we'll make some blue. We'll untap a couple islands. And then we'll Paradoxical Outcome for 3. I'll leave 1 blue mana floating. Their Bowmaster is going to get larger here. And they have another Force of Will. Okay. Untap the Grim Monolith and we'll pass. They swing. I'm at 8. They returned a Murktide Regent to their hand. Okay. Helm of Awakening does not get the job done. We lose game number 1. We'll bring in Flusterstorm to combat Thoughtseize plus all of their counter magic. There's really not a whole lot that you can sideboard out here. Maybe like a couple copies of Helm of Awakening. And maybe a Lorien Revealed. We'll try this. Game 2 on the play. We will keep. We'll play Scalding Tarn and pass. They play a Verdant Catacombs and Thoughtseize. I'm going to just let this resolve. They take my Brainstorm, which is what I expected to happen. We'll play land and Candelabra of Tawnos. Pass. They play Brainstorm into Polluted Delta. 6 cards in their hand. We'll play Grim Monolith. Pass the turn. Undercity Sewers. They surveil away Polluted Delta. And now they cast Ponder. Another Polluted Delta. And a second copy of Thoughtseize. They take my Lorien Revealed. And now they fetch with Polluted Delta into Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. I don't know if I'm going to have a better opportunity than right now, so I think I'm going to just cast my cards, and if they have interaction, we lose. We'll keep the Candelabra of Tawnos. Play High Tide. I will play Spellseeker. It looks like it resolves. Yes. I'll grab Snap and attempt to snap my Spellseeker. The Force of Negation. We'll play Candelabra of Tawnos. Untap my land. Untap 2 lands. And then I'll untap Grim Monolith. Pass the turn. Verdant Catacombs is their land for turn. They play a Barrogoyf, 1 card in their hand. If I can draw like a Paradoxical Outcome, maybe we could do something. What about this useless Helm of Awakening? We will pass. And now they swing. They play Polluted Delta, 1 card in hand, but they have 5 mana. So I don't know if this is Hardcast Force of Will or if they just want to use both clues. We will play Spellseeker. Based on this fetch, I'm guessing it's Hardcast Force of Will. The alternative mode of 5 mana. Yep. We will attack for 1, I guess. I don't know. Double Force, double Thoughtseize. Fairly good. They just milled over 2 more forces with their Barrogoyf. And now they transform the Tamiyo Inquisitive Student into Tamiyo Seasoned Scholar. And now they play another. Something good. Nope. Next turn they get back a force. I guess I'll continue to play this out, but I've already lost. They drew Flow State for turn. Brutal. Into Orcish Bowmasters. I've seen enough. Okay, so in theory, instead of being F6'd, I could have used Grim Monolith to untap my lands, and then Hardcast Force of Will, but realistically, I'm just not winning this game. We are now 0-1. Packs.com is the new way to open your favorite cards. It's a site where you open digital packs of trading cards like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and One Piece cards, and have the cards you open mailed quickly and securely to you. With a wide range of packs to choose from, such as the latest Magic sets, Kaladesh inventions, or even beta. I'm going to open a beta pack. What's great about Packs.com is you can see all of the cards and their odds of being opened in each pack. Now it's time to open one and see what I get. Come on, Black Lotus! If you don't like what you opened, you could sell it back instantly for more packs, or sell it and pick a specific card from the marketplace over at packs.com/market. If you want to check out packs.com, make sure to click the link in the description of this video and use code STORM5 when making a purchase for 5% extra on your first purchase. Let's try it again. On the draw for match number 2, we will keep. So we have High Tide, we have Candelabra, which makes a bunch of mana. You can untap the Candelabra with the Tezzeret Cruel Captain. So I like the potential here, just depends on what our opponent is playing. Force of Will, not a bad draw. We'll play the Candelabra of Tawnos, and I will pass. Our opponent tapped their swamp and passed. I don't really know what they're up to over there. We'll play another land, pass the turn, and now they're going to clean up. Ah, the Reanimator, okay. Am I supposed to try something here? Because I'm going to have to Force of Will on their turn. So, hypothetically speaking, I could tap an island, cast High Tide, Candelabra. They'll give me 7 mana. I could play Helm of Awakening into Tezzeret, and then go grab another candle on tap, and then Lorien Revealed. I'm down to try it. High Tide has finally resolved. We will use Candelabra to untap 3 lands. We'll play Helm of Awakening, and now we'll play Tezzeret Cruel Captain. We'll minus the Tezzeret, and we'll go grab another Candelabra of Tawnos. Play the candle, and now we'll candle and untap, and now I can play Lorien Revealed with 2 open mana. I think I'm stuck. I can't make any more mana right now, so I will pass the turn. But I mean, we're in a better spot despite only a mini combo that turn. I don't hate my position. They play Lotus Petal, and now they have a Thoughtseize. They take my Force of Will. Reanimate on Ref and Mikey Troublemakers. Here's to hoping they reveal another copy of it, or just some creature I don't care about. Archon of Cruelty. I'll discard the Walking Ballista, which means I have to win with Mathemagics. Maybe I should keep it. This is a tough choice. They're going to be at... I'll get rid of the Walking Ballista. So in order to win with Walking Ballista, I have to make 28 mana. At that point, I feel like Mathemagics wins too. I am now at 4 life. We're in their second main phase, and it looks like they're just going to pass the turn. We drew Misty Rainforest, we'll fetch, grab an island, play High Tide, we'll use the Candelabra, and now we have a whole bunch of mana. We'll draw 3 cards using the Lorien Revealed. Another High Tide, boom! We'll play Spellseeker, yes. This can grab High Tide again, play the High Tide, and then we'll use this Candelabra. Now I get to make more mana. 17 mana in my mana pool. I'll play Paradoxical Outcome for 4. We'll play Helm of Awakening. Candelabra. Candelabra. We'll play Brainstorm. Put back 2 lands. We'll play Spellseeker. Yes. Let's go grab the Mathemagics. Another Brainstorm. We'll get rid of 2 lands. We'll play Helm of Awakening for 1 mana. This Helm of Awakening is free. Candelabra of Tawnos makes mana. So now we'll untap our lands. More mana. We'll use another Candelabra. We'll make more mana. Candelabra. And now we'll make more mana. Alright, 43 mana in my pool. We'll target the opponent with Mathemagics. I'm not a math doctor, but I have to imagine Mathemagics with 43 mana floating is going to draw my opponent like 2,000 cards. Alright, X is currently 22. Alright, we win the game. We'll bring in Leyline of the Void and Tormod's Crypt. I think we're supposed to shave a couple copies of Helm of Awakening. We'll get rid of the Candy Trail. Ward out a Lorien Revealed, and then we need 1 more card. Maybe 1 Tezzeret Cruel Captain? I'm not sure. My vote is Tezzeret Cruel Captain. This is what we're trying. Game 2 on the draw. We have double Force of Will, but we do not have Graveyard Hate. I do have Tezzeret into Tormod's Crypt. Yeah, let's try it. I will not mulligan just for Leyline of the Void. This hand is fine enough. There is one copy of Undercity Sewers, so you can untap that Undercity Sewers after making black mana, and then tap it again for black mana, and then you can hardcast a Leyline of the Void that way. It is possible. They play Polluted Delta into Lotus Petal. We drew, we drew Spellseeker. Our opponent was taking so long that I started asking Google how many cards I made my opponent draw last game. I believe off the top of my head, X was 23 with the Helm of Awakenings. So Google says we made our opponent draw 8,388,000 cards. They play Faithless Looting. Like, every action my opponent is taking a very long time, so I'm just sort of losing interest. And with losing interest, I decided to look that up. Bristlebrand to the graveyard. Dark Ritual. I will Force of Will, exile Spellseeker. 2 cards still in their hand. Animate Dead, I'll exile the Mathemagics. 1 card in their hand. So the question is, do I end step Brainstorm or do I grab the Surveil land? I think I'm going to grab the Surveil land. Maybe I'll regret it, who knows. Ding Dong. We'll play Scalding Turn and Fetch. I made my opponent draw 8 million cards. That's pretty sweet. Tezzeret Cruel Captain. Now we'll use the -3 ability and then search out our copy of Tormod's Crypt. And now we'll play it. Pass the turn. We'll untap the Grim Monolith. Play Brainstorm. I guess we just put back the 2 spells? I don't know. If I use Tezzeret, I'd actually no, because I need more artifacts to do that, so it's just not practical. I'm going to just pass the turn here. Whether or not I redraw the Force of Will, I'm not sure. Show and Tell? Oh, I'm punished. I was playing around discard spells. You're a dummy, Bryant. That's a Gristlebrand. Just wasn't thinking. I thought I had the graveyard on lockdown, just not considering Show and Tell. If they fetch, they go to 4. And I can make 8 mana. No, I can make 7 mana. So I'm 1 mana short if they fetch. So I could... Never mind. My Tezzeret doesn't have enough loyalty to go get the Walking Ballista. We're going to abrade my Tormod's Crypt. I will exile their graveyard. They unmask themselves. Discards Atraxa. I will fetch and hope we can draw into something good. I'm an idiot. I don't know why I didn't keep Force of Will in my hand. We'll draw. That doesn't do it. So I'm still 1 mana shy. I can make 3 mana, untap the Grim Monolith, play Tezzeret, and then go get Walking Ballista, but I'm 1 short. Like, I could ping them for 3.5. Only had 1 more mana. Okay, I threw this one. Try to win game 3 and recover. Wonder if I should just be boarding in the Flusterstorms and the Force of Negation too. My concern is, how do I make room for 5 more cards? I think we probably get rid of the Helm of Awakenings altogether. And maybe the Grim Monoliths. It makes Paradoxical Outcome worse, but I think like we're just trying to be a control deck. I will try this. I need to make sure that once I have the graveyard on lockdown, that I can stop Show and Tell from resolving. On the play for game 3. Keep. We'll play Undercity Sewers. Surveil away Paradoxical Outcome. Pass. They play Thoughtseize. I have to imagine they take the Brainstorm here. My hand doesn't do anything. And they do. And now they unmask me. And they take a High Tide. Interesting decision. We'll cycle Lorien Revealed. Grab an island. Play it. Pass. So now I need to find like a Flusterstorm, Force of Negation, or Force of Will. Will they have enough to play Show and Tell? Faithless Looting. They discarded Shallow Grave and Dark Ritual. We drew a land. I suppose I'll play Walking Ballista for 1. Pass the turn. They search out Undercity Sewers. Surveils away a 2nd copy of Shallow Grave. Raucous Theater. Another Shallow Grave to the graveyard. We draw Snap. We'll swing. Pass the turn. End step, they just pass the turn back. Not really an end step play. Land number 4. So I could pump up my Walking Ballista, but I'd rather keep the mana open. I can always pump it up on their end step. We will fetch. I'm at 19. Put a counter on the Walking Ballista. Mathemagics. So I could go High Tide, Snap, Mathemagics. Keep in mind that the Walking Ballista is my last win condition. So if they kill the Walking Ballista, we probably lose if I make this play. So I would tap the island, snap the Walking Ballista, and then I have 8 mana, and I could cast Mathemagics for 3, where X is equal to 3. I think I'm going to do it. I tied. My opponent's complaining about my clock right now. Sheesh. After all the time that they've taken, I take a minute to think about math for my spells. We'll untap my 2 lands. Math and Magics, target myself. X is equal to 3. We'll draw, I think, 8 cards. Play our land. Play the Tormod's Crypt. Pass the turn. Discard Leyline of the Void. And my opponent has conceded the match. Well, we got a win. And we got to do it against somebody who was complaining about me taking a moment for myself. Oh well. And we are now 1-1. Let's see if we can get another win in match number 3.
Building a new deck usually means getting hit with a dozen different shipping fees from a dozen different sellers. It adds up fast, and honestly, it's the worst part of buying cards. That's why I switched to Card Trader Zero. You shop their global marketplace, but instead of having every seller ship to you, they ship to Card Trader's hub first. Card Trader then packs everything into a single shipment for you, and it saves a small fortune on shipping fees. This package from Card Trader just arrived. These are 4 dark rituals that came from 4 different sellers, but they all arrived in one envelope, and every card was quality checked by the Card Trader team before it hit my door. Check out the link in the description to try Card Trader Zero's optimizer for yourself. Stop paying for multiple shipments and get just one.
Match number 3, we're facing the legend Tony Scaponi. We're on the draw. I have no clue what Tony's playing today. Looks like a combo deck of sorts. Imprints Duress. And then cast another Duress. I was hoping that Tony was going to go all in. It did not happen. Takes my Brainstorm. Plays an Urza's Saga. Okay. Lotus Petal. So Tony's all in on the beatdown game plan, it would seem like. We'll play Misty Rainforest. I'll fetch. Grab our island. Put the Candelabra of Tawnos into play. Pass the turn. Urza's Saga goes to the second chapter. Mox Opal. Yep. So I could force will the Mox Opal, trying to keep Tony off of making a construct token. But if he does that and then just has another land, I feel really foolish. So that's not a play I'm interested in making. We've drawn nothing but lands, so we're not in a good spot here. End step, Tony makes a construct. Fetch. We'll grab Undercity Sewers in case Tony has a main deck Pithing Needle. We do not need land number 5. Tony does not make another construct here. That's surprising. Grabs Lion's Eye Diamond. Thoughtseize. Unfortunate. Plays land. And Infernal Tutor for Beseech Dimir. This will kill me. Okay, we'll go to the next one. We'll bring in Flusterstorm, Force of Negation, Leyline of the Void, Tormod's Crypt, and I'm not sure if we want Needle, but I think we're just boarding out of being a combo deck and we're going to be a control deck. Probably can cut the Candy Trail, board down a Tezzeret's Cruel Captain, or Tezzeret Cruel Captain, get rid of a Paradoxical Outcome, and we'll try this. Game 2 on the play. This seems fine. We'll keep Leyline of the Void. Play our island and pass. They play Chrome Mox. I'm thinking about what I said earlier. I'm like, did I misspeak about how many cards I made my opponent draw? I made them draw 8,388,000. If I said billion, I just misspoke. I meant million. But it's just like a thought. I'm like, did I say billion and I meant million? I can't even remember. There's a Saga. I will play Brainstorm. See if I can draw the Needle for the Saga. No is the answer. I'll put back Scalding Tarn and a Candelabra. Pass the turn. Urza's Saga to the second chapter. Bloodstained Mire. We'll fetch with Misty Rainforest. Grab Undercity Sewers. Surveil away the island. High Tide. We'll play Scalding Tarn and pass. Tony fetches with the Bloodstained Mire for a Volcanic Island. Wasn't expecting that one. And now a Construct. I'll fetch just to make sure I'm not hit by a Pithing Needle. Tony brainstorms with the Saga trigger on the stack. And now the shuffle effect from the Urza's Saga. Grabs Mox Opal. Dark Ritual, sure. Duress. I will Force of Negation. Lion's Eye Diamond. Dark Ritual. Infernal Tutor resolves. Oh, Tony could actually just get Tendrils here. Tendrils and attack. And that's what he does. Oh, good play, Tony. I realized a second too late. What is wrong with me today? That's twice now that I've just made like bonehead plays. I promise I'm not losing on purpose, I swear. I just don't know what's wrong with, like, I realized it the second after. I was just like, oh, Tendrils just like it kills me with the construct. I was thinking Tony had to beseech the mirror in order to get the storm count up, but that's just not true. So yeah, so I would have forced willed exiled Paradoxical Outcome, and then Tony would have had All of this in play, plus a 4/4 construct. I would have fallen to 14. And then over the next few turns, I have to draw something to win before the construct kills me, which could have been close. Let's see what the draws are if it lets me. Nope, I would have straight up died to a construct token. There's nothing I even could have done. There's no decisions to be made here. I would have died to this. So I misplayed, but ultimately it did not matter. Okay, we are now 1-2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. We're back for the fourth match, and on the draw, I will keep. This hand is pretty good. They play a Scrubland into Guide of Souls. Okay, so likely energy. The land draw was very good. We'll fetch, grab our basic, play Candelabra of Tawnos, and pass the turn. They have a Badlands, Static Prison, sure. They swing, another High Tide. We'll play Scalding Tarn and pass. Static Prison, they pay for it. They play a Plains, 4 cards in their hand, a Ajani. I'm going to let this resolve. They swing, ouch. End step we'll play Brainstorm. Okay. I think I'll get rid of the Lorien Revealed and then we'll fetch. I'm not going to grab the Undercity Sewers because I don't want to open myself up to Wasteland. Helm of Awakening. They have 3 cards. Maybe I should have kept the Lorien Revealed instead of the second Force of Will. We'll play Helm of Awakening and pass. Because I need a 4th land, and this second Force of Will is not going to help me. They play a basic Mountain, another Guide of Souls, Amped Raptor. Okay. Oh no! Cabal Therapy! Wow! Yep. Brutal. Cabal Therapy is the best thing that they could have found here. Not only does it shred my hand apart, it flips the Ajani, and then they can dome me with the Ajani ability. Like, I just might be dead here. Regardless if they name their correct thing or not. They name Paradoxical Outcome. I mean, that's a good name. It's just not a card in my hand. Am I dead from 16? They could spend all 6 energy, and then that would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They Cabal Therapy, flip the Ajani. I think that's short of killing me, because it would deal me 5. And I will Force of Will the Cabal Therapy. Another Ajani. So this is going to put me to 1. Wow. And I can't fetch. I think I'm dead. What a hand. Okay. We lose game number 1. I don't think I was supposed to Force of Will the Amped Raptor. If you're going to comment that, I respectfully disagree. I just don't think that's like a winning strategy there, but I ended up losing because they found the perfect card. We want Boomerang Basics. Probably get rid of this Candy Trail. So like one of the weaker cards in the deck. Maybe shave a couple copies of Helm of Awakening and a Lorien Revealed. Game 2 on the play. I suppose we'll keep. We'll play Island and pass the turn. They have Scrubland. We'll Brainstorm in response. Cabal Therapy resolves. I ended up hiding Spellseeker and the second copy of Grim Monolith. They name Force of Will. I do have it. I did consider hiding the Force of Will, but I don't know. I thought they were unlikely to name Force of Will, and they were more likely to name something like High Tide. We'll play Grim Monolith, pass the turn. They have a Marsh Flats and Null Rod. Lovely. We draw a land. I'll play the other Grim Monolith, pass the turn. They fetch with Marsh Flats. Voice of Victory. So they can now Cabal Therapy me. Guide of Souls. They choose to not Cabal Therapy. Another Paradoxical Outcome. I will play Brainstorm. This is terrible. I'm just going to get rid of the Paradoxical Outcomes because they know about them with the Cabal Therapy in the graveyard. We'll cycle the Lorien Revealed. I'll grab Undercity Sewers. We'll play it. Prevail away the Candelabra. I will play the Candelabra in my hand. Pass the turn. They swing. We'll be dead soon enough. Like, I'm not even 1 card away. I'm multiple cards away from winning here. And there's the Cabal Therapy. They name Paradoxical Outcome as expected. And they have another. Okay, I'm good. We can go move to the next one. We are now 1 and 3.
Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game.
The final round, we are on the play. Sure, we'll begin with Undercity Sewers. Keep the Lorien revealed because I could play turn 2 Grim Monolith into Lorien revealed with Force of Will backup. They have Ancient Tomb pass. Okay, I'd be shocked if they named a card here where it mattered. Wasteland, sure. We'll play Grim Monolith, pass the turn. Urza's Tower. They play Voltaic Key that resolves. Another Candelabra of Tawnos. Between the two of us, there's 8 copies of Candelabra, which is pretty cool. You don't see that too often. Let's draw 3 cards. Lorien revealed. I will pass the turn. They have a Planner Nexus, and now they have 6 mana, but they're still not casting anything. On step, we'll play Brainstorm. That's a lot of lands. I don't know. I don't even hate this. I think I'm just going to put 2 back, and then we'll untap the Grim Monolith on their next end step. Another Disruptor Flute. Oh, they can name Grim Monolith here. They name Force of Will, so my Force of Will costs 3 mana. And now a Kozilek's Command. They play Urza's Workshop. A Manifold Key. Grim Monolith. All the mana in the world over there. You got it. The question is, what are you going to do with that mana? 1 card left in their hand. I think I'm going to force this. Exile Lorien Revealed. So I know my top card is Lorien Revealed. We can just fetch and then cast it. But I will be shields down next turn. So if they have something spooky, it's going to resolve. We will pass. They just don't do anything, okay? We draw another land. So I could tap 2 lands, play Helm of Awakening, tap another land, which would be 3 untapped lands, and then floating 2 colorless, I could play Spellseeker, go get High Tide, and then use the 2 floating to start untapping lands with Candelabras into Mathemagics, but I'm afraid that's actually like not enough to get the job done. So I'm going to play Brainstorm instead. Okay. Well, I can Paradoxical Outcome, which is reasonable. We'll play Helm, and then Grim Monolith. We'll play Spellseeker. Yes. Go grab High Tide. Play High Tide. Candelabra. Untap some lands. Now we'll make 4 mana. We'll Candelabra and untap 4 lands this time. And now we'll make 8 mana. Paradoxical Outcome and pick up our board. We're doing it! Helm of Awakening. Play Helm of Awakening for 1 blue. And now the Grim Monoliths are free. So are these candles. We'll play Tezzeret for 1 colorless mana. And now we'll tap the Grim Monoliths. Use Candelabra. We will untap our lands. Play Spellseeker, go grab another High Tide, play the High Tide, use the Candlestick. We'll make more mana, use Tezzeret to untap a Candelabra, untap some more lands, and now more mana. Alright, Mathemagics target you. I doubt that this one is going to be 8 million, but oh well. In theory, I could try to make more mana. I could like Spellseeker for a snap, but I just want to get this over with. X is equal to 21. We win. We likely want Force of Negation. Facing the Karn deck, which makes me not want Grim Monolith. I don't hate Boomerang Basics. Probably don't love Candy Trail. And then maybe I'll board out 1 Tezzeret Cruel Captain and we'll try this out. This is a hand of Magic the Gathering cards. I don't know if it's actually any good, but we are keeping. They play Urza's Mine into their own copy of Candelabra of Tawnos. We'll play Island and pass. Urza's Saga. Why didn't I surveil? I mean, it probably didn't matter, but I should have surveilled on turn 1. They have Ancient Tomb. We will fetch. Grab Undercity Sewers. Get rid of the island. We don't need it. But we drew one anyway. I will play Spellseeker. Spellseeker resolves. Yes. We will grab High Tide. Pass the turn. Except they flash in Disruptor Flute instead of making a Construct token. Well, I guess they can still use Candle, and then untap Ancient Tomb and then make a construct? Okay. Yep, and that's what they're doing. There's the Saga, now goes to the 3rd chapter. They make another construct token, and they grab a Manifold Key. They untap their Ancient Tomb with Candelabra. Now they untap the Candelabra again, which is the same amount of mana. I guess they're just trying to play another candle here. They attack for 6, no blocks. Another High Tide. Brutal. I will play Tezzeret. We will minus the Tezzeret and go grab a Candelabra. Play the Candelabra and pass. They have a Grim Monolith now. They're sending both at me. I'll block one of them. They're making a bunch of mana inside of the damage step. I don't know what's really happening here. Maybe it's an error on their part. I'm not sure. And they ended up just passing, so it must have been. Okay, Boomerang Basics. Let's go! Let's try to win a game of Magic the Gathering. Bounce that Disruptor Flute. High Tide. In response to Disruptor Flute, we'll play the other High Tide. And now we will make mana and untap. We will allow Disruptor Flute to now resolve. They named Tezzeret. Sure. Mathemagics, target myself. We'll draw... I guess I'm short here. Well, Mathemagics for 2? That doesn't seem particularly good, but oh well. Candelabra, not a bad find here. And now we'll untap our lands. Paradoxical Outcome and pick up our 3 permanents. Found another Candelabra. We'll draw 3 off of a Lorien Revealed. Play Candelabra. And now we'll untap our lands again. We'll play Lorien Revealed, draw 3 more cards. We'll play Candelabra. Make some more mana and untap. Let's brainstorm. Put back 2 lands. The 4th Candelabra and another Tezzeret. Okay, so we'll play Candelabra. I mean, at some point we've got to draw into either Boomerang Basics or just the Walking Ballista in order to win. And now we'll play the last copy of Candelabra. Okay, and now I will Paradoxical Outcome and bounce all 4 copies of Candelabra to my hand. We drew Force of Will and 3 lands. We'll play Candelabra. What is happening? Magic Online, come on. Oh, our opponent got bored. Nice! We went 2 and 3. We got half our entry back. You know, I was hoping for a positive record, but not terrible. I do think that the deck needs consistency help. I don't think the Candy Trail is particularly useful. I think that's the weakest card in the deck. The real hero of the league was Mathemagics, in my opinion. I was more impressed with Grim Monolith Lorien Revealed than I expected I would be. I still wonder if you actually want to be a Grim Monolith deck, but Lorien Revealed Grim Monolith was powerful. I don't know. It was a fun deck for a league when you're not facing Dimir Tempo. I will say that. It's not a deck I would recommend for any competitive event, but if you're looking for something sweet for like a Friday Night Magic, this might be for you. Thank you, Valgrim, for the donation deck. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry for the couple of errors that I made throughout the league. I don't know how much they ultimately mattered, but I'd like to play better if possible. Thank you all for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. That was a sweet donation deck. If you're interested in seeing your favorite combo deck here at the Epic Storm, visit theepicstorm.com/donation-decks, where you can submit a deck to be featured here on this channel. And on top of that, if you're a higher member tier of this channel, like a Stormtrooper or a Combo Cabal, you get 50% off or even free. So there's tons of perks. Submit a donation deck today.